Fired up footballers, welcome back to another episode of Spitting Postgame. Jeffrey and James here with you as always. So James, competitive match, but unfortunately the Fire lost 1-2. Atlanta United have some quality, obviously. They have some really good players, but I think there were some positives that Chicago Fire displayed. Real quick, let's talk about some stats, and we'll get into it.
Fun match to watch.
So the Fire lost 1-2. They generated 14 shots, but only 3 on target. So
14 shots, 3 on target. So they were producing chances, just not really getting it together in the final third. I remember one specific chance where I was like, "Oh, how did Collier miss that?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Collier definitely missed the sitter. Just skied it.
Yeah.
Not really fruitful in their possession with their shots. Atlanta had generated 10 shots. Now listen to this: 6 on target. So that is the complete opposite. So 10 shots, 6 on target. That's a pretty good percentage. Yeah, 2 goals to show. Possession was pretty even, about 50-50, a little bit in favor of Atlanta FC. The Chicago Fire starting lineup was, Pano went back to the 4-2-3-1.
He went aggressive.
Even though it really didn't look like it. We'll talk about both lineups. So Sanchez was in net. The back four was Brandon Vincent left back, Grant Lillard, Kappelhoff, and Ryan Ellis. Kevin Ellis. I always say Ryan Ellis. Kevin Ellis.
Hockey player.
Dax McCarty, CDM, with Mo, Basti as a cam, and then you had Katai left winger, Nico up top, and Collier as a right winger.
And Richard Sanchez in net.
But it really didn't look like, it looked like that at times, but sometimes when they defended, it almost looked like a 4-1-2-1. So it was that same back four, and then Basti would almost drift up, play like the center forward role, and then Nico and Katai would almost be like these wingers, and then Basti would press. Collier dropped, looked like he was man-marking Nagby into the center mid, and then you had Mo and Dax pick up Almiron and who's the other guy I'm missing in the middle there?
For
Barco. And then when Barco would drop. So yeah, Pano tinkered a little bit, had some tactics. What do you think of first half?
I liked what Pano did. Pano came out swinging. Tata Martino, the coach of Atlanta, actually wasn't really sure how to deal with that first half. I felt like second half Atlanta got a little bit better. They made the adjustments that they had to, but first half they really didn't know how to react to what Pano had done to the Fire. He gave the Fire a chance, and the Fire first half was. They could have very easily gone into the first half up 1-0, maybe 2-0. Mm-hmm. They were doing a great job of possessing the ball and getting close to creating chances. The final third, chance creation still leaving a lot to be asked for. I do remember that one specific chance, and I was just devastated when he missed it. But we saw progress.
The Fire were the better team the first half.
Absolutely.
And I think we lost this match because we didn't take advantage of that better first half. Mm-hmm. We had opportunities. I don't necessarily know if our possession was fruitful. I think we were really getting opportunities off that press, that kind of what Pano orientated, like we said, with Basti leading that press. I think we won the ball back a lot from their defenders, and then we countered and we were in on goal. I think that's really how we generated our opportunities. It's not really like our build-up play was that great. And like you said, we really did lack on that unlocking the final third. So, but it was good. It was a good first half, but I think because we didn't put one away, we didn't come out on top.
One of our comments was that they didn't lose this game because of Pano's decisions he made that day. Mm-hmm. They maybe have lost that game against Atlanta because of the decisions Pano made earlier in the season. Because actually on that day, I thought he made a lot of the right calls. I thought it was a right call on most of the lineup. Collier is still maybe a bit of a question mark.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll talk about him in a second. But I know what you're saying. It's because they spent time and resources on this 5-3-2
with Basti, and now they're back to this 4-2-3-1 hybrid, 4-3-3 hybrid, whatever you want to call it. And 4-1-2-1-2.
What game? What was that? Our 8th game? Was that our 8th game of the season?
Correct.
So we're 8 games in, and now we're back to figuring out a new formation. Mm-hmm. When if we just stuck with this formation in the beginning, by game 5-6, match 5 or 6, we probably would be tuned up and humming with this formation. Now it's like we put all that time in the 3-back system, and we're throwing it all out. And we have to take the time again to instill this formation. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we picked up some points with that 3-5-2, which is funny, but maybe going forward it might make us drop some points because we have to figure this formation out now.
Hindered our progression a little bit. But however, there is progression. We're seeing advancement. We're seeing chance creation. They just weren't fully putting it together the way they needed to. And maybe with another game or two playing like that, they could figure that out. So that was positive.
Second half, what do you think, James?
Second half struggles. The first part of the second half was Atlanta came on hard. We made two bad errors. The errors, down to. First Atlanta goal, what was it? Mo has it. Mo loses the ball. Puts everybody else kind of in a bad position because he was advancing. Ellis was left in no man's land because of that advancement. Dax and Cap kind of have a miscommunication of who to guard.
Yep.
And goal.
Yep, exactly. So Dax and, was that Kapoff, correct? Both of them stepped to the guy, the man with the ball. The secondary guy in offense just made a run. They slipped him in, and that was pretty much it. So letdown. Definitely a letdown. Second
goal, Dax McCarty involved a little bit again here. I don't know if someone told him not to track his man, or he was going to go track the other man in front of him rather than the guy he was following. But then he just stopped following his man. Lillard stepped forward, got caught out in no man's land because of the way the play developed. It was just another mistake, and all of a sudden, bam, Nagy's day at the races. He gets put in, and
there was like six fire guys in like a 15-yard area, all flat-footed. You wonder if they were still thinking about that goal that just went in, because it was 4 or 5 minutes ago. And again, miscommunication. A run came from a midfield. Those are some of the most dangerous runs. Midfielder making their run just because...
Right there in the final third.
Yeah, in the final third. No one tracked their mark. Again, two people stepped to the ball, and they potted it. So it was 2-0 there. But credit to the Fire. I mean, they came back.
Yes.
And, they never gave up. Like Pano said in his post-game speech, credit to their team. They never gave up. And what did you see from that point on?
Credit to Kevin Ellis for a worldie.
Kevin Ellis.
What a heck of a goal. A guy who we say just does not really have that offensive panache. But you saw the way he took the ball down, settled it. It looked like he was practicing with Katai all week. Must have been,
Hey, a blind squirrel finds a nut now and then. So
every once in a while.
Great goal, Kevin Ellis. Props to you, man. That was definitely a wonder strike.
Good performance. Great strike. Let's move on to the performance part of the show where we go through everybody. Yeah. Richard Sanchez and net. I was pleased with his performance. I didn't really see anything that put anything too alarming. I thought he was solid as he had to be.
Yeah. He made some saves.
He made some big saves.
I'll be honest, there were about 2 to 3 opportunities that Atlanta just shot right at him.
Yeah.
I mean, right at him, and he made the save. His best save was when Almiron, who, by the way, is just really, really impressive to watch. I mean, his athleticism and then just how confident he is on the ball. I mean, the ball is on a string. I mean, he's not even he doesn't even need to watch the ball hit his foot. He knows exactly where it's going to be.
And he's so fast.
That one time he ran through 3 of our defenders, and getting back to Richard Sanchez made a fantastic save and robbed him there. So Sanchez, I think, had a decent game.
Sanchez robbed him. Almiron doesn't get robbed like that in Atlanta, I'm sure. But
where are we going next? Brandon Vincent?
Let's go up to Brandon Vincent. I think
he was good.
Better game than he's been having. So, the goals really weren't so much his responsibility. I thought he was doing what he had to do.
I think he's much more comfortable in a flat-back system.
In a flat-back four system?
Yeah, flat-back four system. He was getting up and he was involved. Defensively, he wasn't late. I think it was definitely a better performance from Brandon.
Definitely better performance from Brandon. Lillard got subbed out. I don't think it was because he was bad. No. I think it's because they wanted to go with a different look, and we saw he got subbed out for Campbell right there at the end, and Campbell didn't even come and play center back. No, he went up and played forward. Interestingly, we'll get to that later.
So Lillard, he had a good game. Kind of was involved in that second goal against, but I think
the second goal against. Yeah, he was caught in no man's land.
Yeah, but I mean that was solid. 3 or 4 people. That was the whole team put on. So
Kapoff also kind of the same game.
I think Cap had a pretty good game. I'm not gonna lie. I think he had a great game. Really good first half. Second half, dropped off a little bit, but I think this was one of the better games we saw from Kapoff.
He was involved in the first Atlanta goal where kind of a miscommunication.
Same thing with him. He's probably just more confident in the center back, as a center back in a four back system.
Kevin Ellis. Goal, first of all. I thought defensively he did fantastic doing what he had to do. One time he was caught in no man's land, but I don't think it was really his fault. The ball was going forward. Mo,
they were transitioning.
He's got his job to do, and Mo lost it, and he got caught in no man's land.
I mean, defensively sound. I still will complain that he doesn't get high enough up the pitch for my liking.
Scored a goal,
but maybe that's what he's instructed to do. Maybe they're like, Brandon, you go up. Ellis, you sit here a little bit.
Another thing about his versatility that we saw at the end, bring the ability that Lillard gets taken out, and then you could stick with him as one of those three center backs with him, Vincent, and Kappelhoff, potentially. Yeah. I mean, just a versatility tactic that Pono could lean on. Let's move forward. Dax. Dax had a 7 on who scored. I didn't think he had that great of a game. I thought he was kind of up or down. But you know what? He was dealing with a lot. Yeah, he was dealing with a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of quality. I think defensively he was sound. I think just when he was on the ball, he could have been a little bit better with his distribution. But again, that's not really what you're asking of Dax. But he's a quality footballer. He should be able to, distribute after winning the ball.
I think he was quality.
I think he was okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's to blame for some of these mistakes. He was definitely involved with the 2 Atlanta goals, though, nevertheless.
Well, I mean, he usually is going to be. I mean,
he's going to be.
He's always going to be tracking back last guy, and he's going to be, hauling balls to get back to try to, save a goal. So, I mean, he's always going to be around.
And he was he was the defensive guy who kind of had to cover everybody like a free safety, while Basti and maybe Collier or Mo Adams had more specific instructions on maybe guard Almiron or guard Barco.
Let's go into Mo Adams. I think Mo had a really strong first half. When the Fire they did a really good, like we said in the beginning of the episode, they did a better job in the first half just defending higher up the pitch and making them make mistakes. I think Mo thrived. He was doing really well. In the second half, when they made adjustments, he struggled a little bit.
He struggled a little bit more.
But, I'm still encouraged by Mo. Yeah. Of course, he's a young player. He's going to have to play through some things. And he played against one of the best teams in the league with some of the best talent.
He had to be man marking either Almiron or Barco pretty much all game. And that takes... Yeah, wow, that takes effort.
And the first goal was his fault. But Nico, Nico played. It was a tough ball. It's a tough ball. He could have done better, but I mean, I still say a solid performance from him.
Let's go over to Basti. Basti,
fantastic. I mean,
Mr. Versatility.
Mr. Versatility. Yeah, he can do it all. I mean, he's a cam. He's a center forward, directing the press. He's
our false nine. He's our defensive stalwart.
Just all over the field. Another great game. And I think, in a couple more games, the fire will be ticking, and he'll be a big reason why.
I thought he was a little subdued this game, maybe, for some reason, but he did take a vicious knock from Lorenowitz early on.
Big Red.
Big Red
got
put him out. I think it was an accident, and Big Red recognized it, too. But I feel like that kind of...
But I mean,
knocked Basti off a little bit, but still he was, doing his best.
It is so nice having Basti in the middle of the pitch. It is so nice.
Tremendous.
It is just huge, 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 huge. Let's get rolling.
Let's move on to Collier first. Collier might be time to replace him with Campos. The things that he provides you are his height and his tenacity and his effort. His skill on the ball and his passing are not where it needs to be yet.
It's the tight spaces. He just loses the ball in tight spaces. That's not his skill set. And, it's time to try someone new.
Campos came on for him.
Yeah.
And Campos played dangerous.
Campos deserves a start.
He was dangerous.
He deserves a start. I mean, we've seen, 15, 20 minutes of Campos, at the end of the games. Do we really know what we have? Maybe, but let's get this guy a start and give him some minutes.
I think Campos is about time to take over for Collier, just because of what we're seeing. Katai, first half, great, man.
Kind of invisible second half.
Second half, very visible, but first half, I gotta say, his defensive and his offensive effort, I saw him streaking towards balls, just flying, just like at a bat out of hell, trying to get to his defensive cover. And I'm like, wow, that's the same player we saw 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah, and then in the second half, they kind of shut him down. I mean, he was in a lot of one-on-one battles. He had some opportunities, but he just couldn't win those one-on-one battles. And they bracketed him a couple times, meaning there's a secondary defender. So, I mean, credit Atlanta. They did a good job taking away Katai that second half.
And he was asked to do a little bit different thing, playing like a left forward type of role.
All of them were moving around. And then Nico, I don't think Nico did... Nico didn't do very much today.
Playing like a right forward.
Played like a right winger.
Right winger type.
But again, this wasn't...
He was involved, I felt like, in some of the build-up, in the possession, in the press. Yeah. But in the final third... You got to be getting Nico that ball.
That's the thing. Let's just talk about the game as a whole.
It was a half chance. He had one chance. It was a half chance, and it just kind of trickled towards that corner post, and they were all like, "Oh, well, let's clear it up."
I mean, going forward, I think this is a positive game because you can see that the Fire can hang with one of the better teams in the league.
Yes, you can.
One thing that is concerning.
The
only thing that is really concerning is their inability to unlock that final third. But I think the possession was there, the buildup was there. Now they just need to figure out how to, create some shots. I mean, 14 shots, 3 on goal. It's not good
One
enough.
goal from those 3,
It's
2
not good
goals
enough.
from the 6.
And 1 goal from
the
a
other.
defender. So, I mean, yeah.
Our goal was from a defender,
Yeah.
while both their goals were from their offense.
We need to get Nico scoring some goals. We need to get Katai scoring some goals. And
if Collier's not scoring goals, maybe we got to get Campos scoring
Yeah.
some goals because we got to get goals
Yeah.
to win these games.
So it was nice seeing a switch. Very nice seeing a switch.
Aggressive tactic by Pano. I like the calls on
Yeah.
many of the aspects, and he gave Tata Martino a handful to deal with, and that's all you can ask for right now from this team. And,
Yeah.
and it's still at that point where we're still kind of struggling going forward, but we're seeing those things Pano was talking
It
about.
almost seems like it's the first 1, 2, 3 games of the year again,
Yeah.
where they're like trying to figure it out and
trying to put it all together.
So the encouraging things are there, but we're going to drop a few points, while we figure out this new formation. But I mean, that's all I got. You got anything else?
I do. We saw Gordon come in as a sub. I thought he was a little bit invisible. I didn't think he did too much really. Also interesting, we saw Campbell get subbed in for Lillard, but then not go into the back line. We saw him actually go up and forward. What does that mean?
Well, it means they don't have enough depth. I mean, they didn't
Where's
trust
Vaccaro?
Vaccaro or any of the
They don't trust him.
the other options they have on the bench. I mean, it's concerning.
Drew Connor didn't make the final
The
18.
weird thing is that this team does have strikers. So it's like, what's going on? This team, one of the positions that they do have depth, or at least players, is strikers. So, yeah. Concerning.
I mean, so we saw Campbell
But,
forward. Yeah,
I
maybe
think-
that just speaks to his options right now. How confident Pano is with his options.
I mean, I understand why he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Campbell's tall. He can.
Campbell, you have
he's good
Gordon
on
up
set
there.
pieces too.
Yeah.
And they were probably hoping to get a couple more set pieces. It sounded like from Pano,
Mm-hmm.
maybe because Campos is good on those set pieces. We need to get a little bit more time for Campos, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that about sums us up here today. It was a good effort from the Fire.
Well, like Pano said in his press conferences, going forward, the Fire should be competitive. The Fire,
Yes.
if they keep playing like that, fix a few things here and there, make a couple changes, I mean, the Fire can be a competitive
I
team.
think we can beat Montreal Impact on Wednesday with a similar effort.
Oh, yeah.
And similar tactics, if they can get a little more cohesive. But that's about it from us today, guys. We'll see you guys on Wednesday for when the Chicago Fire take on the Montreal Impact at home.
He's kicking. He's taking a penalty
I'll be
kick
on the
before
field.
the game.
I think I'm taking a penalty kick, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the analysis, if you enjoyed us, give us a like. I'm stumbling here. If you have any comments to make or any additions, comments, substitutions, what have you, toss them in the comments below, corrections, what have you, and always subscribe for more Spinning Fire. We'll see you guys later.
Later.
Bye.